Hey YouTube. In the last video, when Hennessy was talking about doing a pop-up on somebody in class, she spoke about how I was going to talk about my first time getting caught smoking weed by my parents. So, it was epic, okay? Let me tell you guys, okay? This actually happened like, 6 months ago? Back in like November. So, this happened in November. I think November, October. I'm not really sure. But I've been smoking for like a good 2 years? 2 years, 3 years. And one day my mom had she came to pick me up, me and my sister. And we was gonna spend the day with her. She was with her friend and I was with my sister. It was like around 7 and we was just chilling in the car and we was listening to music and nothing really special. And we had stopped at Wawa. And I had got a text from my dad and he was like, why did I find a weed jar in your drawer, right? I'll try to insert a picture if I find the messages. But yeah, he said that and you guys, my heart dropped. I was so scared, you know. I thought he was playing at first because I didn't really think I was gonna get caught. I thought I was like, I'm never gonna get caught, you know. But I ended up getting caught. And yeah, he was like, why did I find a weed jar in your drawer? And you know, I was like, oh my god. I started telling my sister, like, should I tell him it's mine? Should I lie and say that it's not mine? And my sister was like, I think you should lie and say that it's not yours, that you're holding it for someone. So I was like, my dad's not dumb. He's not gonna believe that, you know. So, you know, I finally got the courage to text him back and say, you know, it's mine. So I texted him and I said that it's mine. And he texted back and he was like, so you smoking weed now? And I said, yeah. And he didn't text me back. So I already knew he was mad. He didn't text me back. I was waiting for a response, like for him to curse me out or something or to call me. But he ended up not calling me or texting me. So maybe like 20 minutes go by and, you know, we're driving and we park up at a park. And we're sitting next to the park and I'm telling my sister, like, I think I should tell, you know, our mom. I think we should tell her that, you know, I smoke weed. And, you know, she was just looking at me like, I don't know if that's a good idea. But I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, my dad knows, and plus my dad is more strict than my mom. So I was like, I might as well just tell her. Like, my mom's like my best friend. So I told my mom, I looked at her and I said, Mom, I need to tell you something really, really important. And she was like, girl, bye, like, you always playing. So I was like, no, Mom, I really need to tell you something. I need to talk to you. And her friend was like, okay. She was like, I'm gonna get out the car so you guys could talk. So I looked my mom dead in the face and I said, Mom, I smoke weed. I said that, right? She looked at me, she was like, what? And I was like, I smoke weed. She started crying, you guys. She started crying, bawling her eyes out, right? So I started bawling my eyes out because, you know, to see my mom crying for something that I did, you know, it broke my heart. So she started crying and she just started telling me, like, I didn't expect this from you. She was like, you're only 17 years old. At the time I was 17. She was like, you're only 17 years old. She was like, why would you do that? She was like, you're gonna mess your life up. You know, you shouldn't be thinking about that. You should be thinking about finishing school and thinking about going to the Navy and stuff like that. And, you know, I was crying. I was, you know, just like shaking my head like, you know, you're right and stuff like that. But she was upset, you know. My mom smokes weed too, so she was like, I need to smoke. She was like, I need to smoke. So she got out the car and she smoked whatever, her L. And I was in the car just thinking like, oh my god, like, you know, this day is just not good. So she ended up coming back in the car and she started talking to me. She was like, I still love you. She was like, but please just stop smoking. You know, she was like, that's not good for you. And even though I do it, she was like, even though I do it, that don't mean you should do it. She was like, I do it because I'm grown. And, you know, she was like, but you need to worry about your school and you shouldn't be thinking about that right now. She was like, further on in the future, if you want to do it and you're stable and, you know, you got your own stuff, then you could think about it and you could do it. But right now, no. So, you know, I was agreeing to what she was saying. I was like, you know, you're right and stuff like that. So I ended up taking a walk with my sister through the little park or whatever, and I get a call from my dad. Yo, I get a call from my dad, and I'm so scared to pick up the phone. I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna pick up the phone. I'm not gonna pick up the phone. But if I didn't pick up the phone, he was gonna curse me the fuck out, right? So I finally answered the phone, and he's real calm. He's like, so you smoking weed? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, from there, he started going off. He said, why the you smoking weed? He said, that shit not cute. Excuse me. He was like, that's not cute. He was like, you think you grown smoking weed? He was like, who you be copping up from? He was like, I had lied to him one day and said that I was going to the store, but I was actually going to cop up. And he was like, that day when you said you was going to the store, I knew you was fucking lying. I knew you was going to go cop up or whatever. He's like, you've been lying to me and stuff like this. And he was like, where you be doing this at, right? So I told him, I do it in my room, right? So he was like, oh, you be doing it in your room in the house. He was like, you're going to bring that into my house? He was like, you mad disrespectful. He was like, I'm disappointed in you. Yo, when he said I'm disappointed in you, I started bawling my eyes out again. Bawling my eyes out. And he heard me crying. So he was like, don't effing cry now. He was like, don't cry now. He was like, you already did it. So when he said that, I wiped my tears and I toughened up. I was like, you know what, he's coming at me, so I need to toughen up because, he is right. So he was still coming at me, and at the time I had a boyfriend, you could say, and I was thinking about moving in with him. My dumb mind. I wasn't gonna go nowhere though, but I was thinking about going to move with him, and he told my dad that he wanted me to move in with him, and my dad wasn't down for the idea. But when he found out I was smoking weed, he was like, and you said you had a place to stay. He was like, and if you want to leave my house, you could leave. He was like, I don't give a fuck where you go. He was like, but you're not gonna be doing this in my house. He was like, if you're gonna keep doing this, you need to get the F out, right? So I was like, I was shocked he said that, because I was like, I'm his daughter, like, I didn't think a dad would say that to a daughter. So he was like, yeah, you can get the F out of my house and stuff like that. So like at that point when he said that, like my attitude, my mood changed. I went from being sad to being angry. So when he said, you can get out of my house, I was mad because I was like, why is he saying that to me, Like, even though I did do it in his house and stuff like that, and I'm only 17 years old, but he never had to kick me out the house, So then I told my mom, I was like, he's kicking me out and I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna leave. And my mom was like, you're not going nowhere. She said, that's your house, you're not going nowhere. She was like, you're only 17 years old, where you gonna go and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know, but I was like, but I'm leaving. And then that's when she was like, you're not going nowhere. She was like, go home, go to sleep, and I already know your dad's gonna talk to you in the morning. So I was like, all right. So I ended up going home, and my dad was already in his room. So he was in his room, and I ended up going to my room. I went straight to my room. And so the next day, I had school. So my dad used to drop me off at school. So the car ride to school was so awkward. Like, the whole car ride was just like, it was quiet. Nobody was talking. Like, it was no music playing. It was just quiet. And I was just like, oh my God. I was waiting. Like, I was just like, can we get to school already? Like, I felt like that car ride was the longest car ride ever. So I was like, can we get to school already? And finally we got to school, and the day goes by and it's time to go home. And my mom used to pick me up after school. So my dad would drop me off, and then my mom would pick me up. So my mom came to pick me up. My mom was still like a little upset about it, but she wasn't like, angry. She was still like laughing with me, giggling with me. But like, you could see, like, when I first got in the car, her face expression was like, she was like, she was serious. So I go home or whatever, and my dad's on the couch. And I'm thinking he's not gonna say a word to me or nothing like that. So I'm walking straight upstairs, and he was like, come downstairs. He was like, sit on the couch, I need to talk to you. So I was like, okay. And he talked to me, obviously what responsible, caring parents, say to their kids when they do something bad. He was just, giving me advice and telling me, what's right, what's wrong, and, just giving me advice and just telling me what I should do and what I should think about, So So yeah, I took his advice and I stopped smoking for about like, I want to say 2 months, 3 months. I think it was 2 months. And again, I started smoking. One day, somebody brought the idea up to me, was like, we should smoke, whatever, whatever. And I was down. I was like, I was like, F it, like, let's just smoke, right? So yeah, went, copped up. And that day I was making it kind of like suspicious because I lit candles up, I was spraying perfume, I was everything, matches, everything, so you can smell it, right? So I was kind of being suspicious. So he was in his room and I started smoking in my room. I want to say like around like 1 in the morning, I think 1 or 2 in the morning. I started smoking and I was done smoking. And yeah, I was done smoking and I had the window open. So like, I could air it out or whatever. And it's like me, I was spraying perfume, which makes it even worse instead of spraying like air freshener or something like that. So I was spraying perfume and it's, I think about like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And you guys, I'm thinking the smell is gone, right? I'm thinking everything's gone, everything's fine, right? I hear a knock at my door. Y'all, the only people that live in my house is my dad, my sister, and me. And I was in the room and my sister was in the room. So and the only person that was in the house was my dad. So I hear a knock at the door and I already knew it was my dad, right? So now my heart drops from my stomach down to my ass. So I'm scared. I'm scared. But I was kind of thinking like, I already aired it out, so he shouldn't be able to smell anything, right? So he opens the door. Well, my sister opens the door because I had locked it. And my sister opens the door and he walks in. He's like, "What's that smell?" And I'm like, I'm caught, right? He's like, "What's that smell?" And I'm kind of more like, the hyperactive one, and my sister's kind of like the moody, chill one. So that day I was kind of moody and chill. My sister was like the hyperactive one. So he was kind of like, he was like, something's off. So where I was standing, I was kind of standing like this, like there's a bureau right here and then a mirror right here, right in front of me, and I was kind of facing the TV. And he was right behind me, but he could look through the mirror. He could look through the mirror and see me. So I was brushing my hair at this time, and I was looking down. And brushing my hair so he couldn't see my eyes, because my eyes were like really red and low. And I could see him. He was kind of like bending down, so he could see my face. And I kept trying to turn my head even more. And he goes and he's like, "Brianna, let me see your face," right? So, yeah. I pray to God. I'm like, "God, if you get me out of this one, I promise that I will be a good child." But obviously, God wanted me to get caught. So he's like, "Let me see your face." So I turn around, and still I'm looking down. Because I cannot look at him in the face, because his face is just like, he's angry, right? So I look down, and he's like, "You were smoking?" And I was like, I said, "Yeah." He said, "You were smoking?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes off from there. He said, "I told you not to smoke in my effing house." Y'all, he started cursing me out, y'all. Cursing me the F out, right? So I had from previous times that I had smoked, I had saved jars in my drawer from the first time that I got caught. All those jars were from that time. I had saved the jars in my drawer, and y'all, he took all my clothes, everything, all my clothes from all my drawers, started dumping everything out, and he found all those jars. Found all of them. I had them wrapped up in like a little like towel. He opened the towel, found all of them. I had them wrapped up in like a little like towel. He opened the towel, and he was like, "Oh, see," I had another L rolled, you guys. I had another L rolled, because I was gonna smoke that same day, but like later on. So I had wrapped it up in a shirt, and I was like, "Oh my God, you guys, if he finds this L, he's going to beat my ass," right? So I'm praying, I'm like, "Oh my God, I hope he doesn't find that. I hope he doesn't find it." He ended up not finding it because it was wrapped up in a shirt, and he had threw the shirt, and it ended up not falling out of the shirt. So yeah, then he keeps finding more jars, and he says, "You're just like the rest of these," right? I didn't even, you guys, I was fried. You guys, I was high. So when he said that, I brushed it off. I was like, and I don't care, right? So he said that, and my sister looked at him and was like, you know, my sister felt a type of way. I didn't really feel a type of way. So when he said that, you know, I was just like, it is what it is. Like, you called me again, right? I'm a dummy. And, you know, he leaves the room or whatever. And he's just talking, you know, he's just talking shit at his room, you know, calling me all types of names and shit, you know, shit. So, you know, I'm not paying it no mind or whatever. You know, I'm laughing with my sister. I'm like, I got caught again, right? I'm a dummy. So, boom, he closes, he slams the door or whatever. He slams the door, and then he comes back and he's like, give me your phone. Yo, my phone is my life. So he goes and he snatches my phone, takes my phone. He doesn't give me my phone for about a good, like, I want to say a week. But again, at the end of that, he talked to me and he was like, this is the last straw for me. He was like, if you want to keep smoking and fuck your life up, that's on you. He was like, I'm trying to give you the best advice as a dad. He was like, I'm trying to be there for you. I'm trying to help you, you know. I'm trying to help you, you know, have a better life, you know. So, you know, I finally, you know, opened up and I realized, I was like, you know what, he's right. I can't keep doing this. If I want to go to the Navy, I can't keep smoking and stuff like that. So, you know, I ended up telling him I'm sorry and stuff like that, and that I wouldn't do it again, and I haven't did it again. So, yeah, he ended up giving my phone back and stuff like that. But that just goes to show that if you're young and you're smoking, or you're thinking about smoking and your parents don't know, trust me. And you think your parents won't find out, they will. I thought they wouldn't. I've always been a good child, you know. I've always been the one to, like, you know, tirar la piedra y esconder la mano. I've always been, you know, that type to, you know, throw the rock and hide the hand. And I thought I wasn't gonna get caught, you know, but I ended up getting caught, you know. And it was bad because, you know, if you, like, when you have an argument with your parents and you guys are not talking, it's, you know, it's like the negativity is just like, ugh, you know. I don't like being around that type of negativity. You know, even though I brought it up and stuff like that. But, you know, I like to be good with my parents, you know, have a good bond with my parents. So, yeah. But that's my story of how I got caught, you know. I didn't get my ass beat or nothing like that. If you guys were like, wondering, like, oh my gosh, she got her ass beat. No, I didn't get my ass beat, you know, thank God, because I feel like I really would have got my ass beat. So, yeah. Thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Our next video that we're going to be dropping is, I think, the story time about me and Hennessy climbing up a railing in through the roof, or, you know, our first time smoking weed together. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video.